Hello, hello. Welcome back to the bog. I'm Willow, and I'll be your guiding light. Today, we'll be diving back into Menace, picking up where we left off after another completed operation. We had a point defense against the pirates, and oh man, did they come at us fast. Despite a bit of a salty tangent in the middle, the mission did turn out to be a success. Now, let's go get set up for our fourth operation. Before we can get into the next operation, we've got a lot of clerical stuff to cover. So I gotta do upgrades, improvements, black market shopping, whole shebangs. We got quite a few promotion points, we got 113 OCI components, so I really want to see what we can do with that. And we also made the backbone, the unbent, like us more, which has given us 3 options for new OCI upgrades. There's the supply drop. The impetus can send additional supplies onto the battlefield. Due to typical battlefield circumstances, a designated landing spot is not always guaranteed. Gaming off-map ability, Supply Drop, which drops a crate of ammunition to refill all weapons and accessories. That's really interesting. I'm not sure if I, immediately want to jump on that, but I do see the use for longer missions or for some of those single-use items. This could be very powerful. Dropship rocket pods. Rigs rocket pods onto the dropship, allowing it to strafe targets with a barrage of unguided rockets. Inflicts very high suppression and fragmentation damage, but little in the way of armor penetration. Gain the off-map ability Rocket Pod Run, which fires a large amount of small unguided rockets onto the battlefield. This seems kind of similar to the strafing run. Probably an upgrade? I can go double check what this strafing run actually says. It just says suppressive mini gunfire. We don't really get a lot of details on exactly how powerful that is. And then the third option is the Digital Combat Recording and Analysis Center, or the DC RAC. Analyzes AARs to maximize combat efficiency in training regimens. 20% increase to all earned promotion points. That sounds real cool, but it is way out of our budget range, as are all of the options from Dice of the Gods. And so we go to the OCI, we can get Sensor 1, which I think still has similar problems that it had before. If we could afford potentially the minigun or the supply run, and for the whole, we could get a repair bay, vehicle repair bay, a large floor space dedicated to maintenance and repair of hardware such as vehicles, mechs, and more. This is how the vehicles heal. 30% vehicle HP and removes 1 defect between missions. Alright, that's pretty good, because that means that if we mess up and get Rewa into trouble right off the bat, this prevents her from getting totaled. And we have the medical bay, which... Oh, so the first 2 squad mates seem to be guaranteed, and then it's a 30% chance per person after that. So it is a significant upgrade. Those are some tough choices. I like the idea of more of these off-map abilities, because they're just fun to use. It's cool to watch it happen, even if they are a little bit dubious. I think right now I'm mostly interested in the repair bay. Having one of my squad leaders get taken out because I messed up on a mission early on could really hurt the end point of a mission. Some of these last missions, especially the defense ones, are really tough, and having everybody available seems really useful. So we're gonna grab that. Nice! Still have the front broken, but I'm sure we'll fix our ship eventually. Looking at squads, we have quite a few promotion points. Last time, I looked at you a little bit. Zigzag, grind down. When you want to peel the survivability onion multiple layers at a time, percent armor damage, just shreds. You get enough juice in on a shot, anything can be a big red barrel. Light defect for each defect inflicted on an enemy. The light defects don't seem to be that big a deal. They seem much worse for players than enemies. So I'm kind of iffy about that. Unbreakable. For an inexperienced pilot, a small fire might catch into the wet storage, burn through wires, and smoke up the periscope. For the experienced pilot, they just kick the munitions away, crosswire the live wires, and use their eyes. It lowers the defect threshold. So I think instead of 75, 50, 25, it's 50, 25, not at all. That's incredibly interesting. Um, because that just makes it so much harder to have her take damage. And coupled with the reduction, the like healing we got, this could be really powerful. But I want to look at what other people have, because I know we've been pumping things into Limb, uh, and giving him athletic could do a lot for the movement. Darby, I remember Darby just didn't have things that were like, ooh, I really like this. This seems really cool. None of them jumped out to me. And then Pike was doing some good stuff. Disruptive Fire could be good. And then we have a new rank. This is my rifle. If you drop your rifle, you are to pick it up. If you drop your rifle in the mud, you are to pick it up. If you drop your rifle behind enemy lines, you are to pick it up. If you drop your rifle into a volcano, you are to pick it up. TCR Marines Combat Manual. Minus 50% supply cost for squad weapons. Maybe I'm building wrong. Am I building him wrong? Do I need to make him like a big group? That's so strange. Okay. I'll go back to the start, do this in the right order. Determined. After a while, those zips and zings just become noise. Minus 35% incoming suppression. Seems quite powerful, but is not something that I... It's another one of those defensive perks that I don't think is strictly necessary. I'd rather go for damage or other types of defense. Fortify. Some people look at a field and see plots for flowers, farms, and barns. Others see trenches and graveyards. +1 cover level. Has no effect when in heavy cover. See, that is the kind of defensive perk that's really interesting, especially for a character I'm using to deploy. Being able to do that more freely and not be super exposed is incredibly interesting. Command Rally. Disappointing kids, ungotten promotions, withering from old age, taxes. Do you really want to live forever, Marine? Activate. Rally a friendly squad within 10 tiles. Reduces suppression by 80 and resets morale. That's really cool. That can do a lot. That's how you get somebody out of a bad situation and get them back in the game. We got some really good options here. I like Unbreakable. I think some of the heavy defects were quite bad for just like having my main gun disabled and things like that. And so having this, I think, will be quite useful for Rewa.
Another PT test passed.
Her lines are always wild. Drive-by. Our more arcane historical records depict combatants utilizing hardware to drive past their enemies while simultaneously firing upon them with weapons at tilt. We are uncertain as to the effectiveness of this strategy, but thanks to modern V&H gyro stabilizers, our pilots can perhaps replicate this tactic with a greater degree of finesse. TCR study on maneuver warfare. Minus 10 AP for next standard attack after moving, trigger multiple times per turn. That's really, really cool. Being able to keep her on the move, especially if I go back and grab expert pilot to make turns better, I think she could do some real cool stuff, zipping around. That's fantastic. Vanguard. Vanguard elements landing ahead of the main to provide a strong edge in scouting, but they should be extra cautious in starting firefights until relinking with allied forces. TCR Marines Combat Manual. You get an increased deployment zone. I wish it told me how much the increase was. A couple extra tiles is not a big deal. 50% would be enormous. So interesting, but I don't know enough yet. Fury. Rewa, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you say you manage your anger problems? TCRN Psychologist Redacted. Did another Kutta write that question, or should I hold you responsible? Rewa Renu failed PT test. plus 40% base damage, minus 15% accuracy. Oh, see, that's a fun one. That lets you do some silly things. Finisher. Wounded animals should be put out of their misery. Plus 30% accuracy and 20% damage against any enemy that is stunned, disabled, or disrupted. I'm not sure what things cause those exactly, so this could be quite good, it could be quite iffy. I'm really interested in drive-by. We're going to take this because that's going to make her a lot more mobile, and make the moving into 2 shots a lot more possible.
Another PT test bust.
Yeah. Alright, that's the upgrades for Roa. And then we've got the black market, and oh boy, do we have a lot of money. When we go to our squads, Darby's got a gun she's pretty happy with. I don't see her trading it out, except for maybe the base crowbar, if I'm really tight on supplies, because the base crowbar still does pretty similar things. Lim's got his arc, and the arc is doing some serious work. We could try and swap him for the Pirate Assault Rifle, but it does so much less damage. I don't know, the Pirate Assault Rifle just seems garbage. And the Flamethrower has been pretty nice at close range. I'm also deeply tempted to like swap the Flamethrower over to Darby to give her a more close range option. Give her the like long range carbine and the Flamethrower, and then have Lim get something a little bit more long range, or something like the chain gun that you can fire and kind of cover your own approach with. That might be in the works. And then, yeah, Pike just has the worst gun possible because he's really there for his support and his heavy weapon, which in this case is the tripod gun, or maybe the Mal, if we're up against a lot of heavy armor. And then Rewa, we do actually have heavy weapons. We have a mounted chain gun, and we have the BC autocannon. I can't compare them because they're different types. We're looking at a range of 8, minus 20 accuracy, 12 rate of fire. Both of these have much lower rate of fire. Both of these have longer range. Looks like their hit point damage is much higher because this is 16-7 by 12. And this is, yeah, 15-12 by 7. So weirdly enough, the mounted chain gun, though I suppose it does actually have a lower cost, and it is prone to jamming, I'm probably not interested in that because having your primary weapon be jammable is kind of rough. Whereas the autocannon, oh yeah, this thing, it fires 3 shots, so it's very bad against infantry because it only hits 1 element per shot. But oh boy, 60 damage with 70 armor damage and 45 armor pen. Yeah, you could punch through heavy infantry against buildings, vehicles. That's quite interesting. So we might end up trying to do both. That would kind of be ideal if I could run both, if I can fit them in. Because then Pike could keep his CMG-50, and we're less worried about... We have more anti-armor. You would lose the flamethrower and grab the light chain gun. Because this one is potential for jamming, but it's not his primary weapon. This is mostly trying to like cover his own approach. And the arc, and then I could put you on the base crowbar, because it's still doing pretty good, and slap like the flamethrower on you. As far as armored goes, the Outcast Rags are a nice little bonus with their concealment, but if I need to lose stuff, I can lose stuff. The Scavenger Suits, I think I'm more interested in because the bonus armor. And then I did want to give Pike that enhanced small arms protective plating. It's a lot cheaper to use on him because there's less people in his squad, and it it makes him easy to see and easy to shoot at, but he's good with heavy armor, and it means that he's less likely to get blown away. And I can just stick him up in the front with his CMG and not have a care in the world. So we're looking for items to support this. We can sell things that aren't a part of that. Like I don't need another pirate pipe gun. I don't care about any of these. How much do I have if I sell the things I don't care about? I want one of those. I already have the chain gun equipped. The mining laser is kind of iffy. I don't need this many rags. And then we have, I don't need so many of these. Or these or that. Oh yeah, so we have a ton of money. I have like 300 if I spend everything here. Which I don't think we need to do. But it might be nice to get an extra squad leader or some better gear. Because I'm also going to come up against just like having enough supplies to deploy things. I do want to look at, given that I'm gave Rewa some boosts, maybe getting her a better vehicle might be good. Because she's at 250 health, 125 armor. And I want to see what that looks like compared to some of these other vehicles. Yeah, so this one has... where's the health? Is the health built onto her, maybe? 110 armor with 8 vision versus her... that says hit points. That's strange. If we take her out of it... Can I take her out of it? Oh, it takes everything off. Then I can go into the black market and I can see it over here. Yeah, hit points 250. Where's the hit points on this? Interesting. Okay. This is the AATV, Armored All-Terrain Vehicle. Is armored to protect against most small caliber weapons while being quick and maneuverable on all terrain types. We've fitted with a variety of medium weapons. We've got the light troop carrier, which I think is the thing we start with. Yeah. And then we have a light walker. A light walker used for scouting and mobile fire support, not very durable but cheap to deploy. That seems to be similar in that all of these are kind of less good than her current mech. We do have this exploding reactive armor we might be able to get her. It's a vehicle accessory. Armor plates with small explosive charges that detonate against incoming shots and blunt the blast. Has an 80% chance to negate all damage from rocket-based attacks, can trigger 3 times. Okay, so abilities like this are quite good often, but they're really frustrating to use because most of the time this protects her from one of the things she's weakest to, armor-piercing rockets. And over a mission, a campaign, an operation, this protects her from a lot of rockets, but on any given turn, I don't want to plan around using this because that plan is a 20% chance of having the rocket land home and do a bunch of damage. And that's just like it's not a great thing to have as part of your plan. And so it's interesting, but not something that I'm immediately jumping for joy at. As far as infantry weapons go, we have a lot that we've seen before. None of them seem to be super new or special. We have another tripod CMG-50. Some armors available. Though they are in a similar vein of we have this type of stuff already. A lot of the accessories and other type stuff. Hey, the grenade pistol has an image now. A lot of this just seems to be stuff that I'm not sure I want. The Falcon Recon Skybot seems really interesting. A small skybot sent out to scout a certain area can be remote controlled to relocate within 10 tiles of the drone operator. See, that's really interesting. That gives us a way to scout ahead of us, and I like that quite a bit. There's also incendiary grenades, a grenade containing highly flammable contents that ignite in a fiery explosion upon impact and set the ground on fire. Can also be used to set structures, vegetation, or vehicles on fire. Throw an incendiary grenade at the target that causes the tile to burn and cause damage over time to all units. Can set things on fire. Intriguing. I'm not sure, something that jumps out to me immediately. Here we go. The Werfger disposable anti-tank launcher. We looked at this a long time ago. It basically gives you a one-shot anti-tank, and I do actually really like that. What's one of the things I've been hurting for is the ability to have people who normally can't do anything to armor be able to do something if necessary. And then I think those are the things that jump out to me that feel like we're missing. So we're gonna spend the alien bits that don't do anything, and the pirate guns that I don't like very much. A bunch of these grenades. Nice. We can get those 2 items. If I go to my squads, Ike is someone that, again, isn't doing much on a lot of turns, and so, like, having the drone could be really good for him. And then Darby normally can't do much against tanks, but having a one-shot rocket could do real good for her. And then Rewa needs her vehicle back, all her guns back, all of that. And then we got a lot of side accessories, but we'll have to make choices about that once we see how much we can actually bring with us on a mission. As far as missions go, we have a Dice the God missions for plus 16. Got a Backbone mission for plus 16. Oh, we got a Zane Beecher Corp for plus 18. I want to see what they give me, and I want that plus 18, so we're going to go deal with this counterinsurgency on Mach. I don't think we've been here yet. This is the barren desert scorched sand. Counterinsurgency, we got the pirates that have landed, and we gotta find them and destroy them. So, let's get in there. Whew, alright, we're gonna be going through what our mission options are and figuring out where we want to go. Gotta stop extortion, difficulty 2. Pirates have been extorting a local settlement for a while now. Something must have gone wrong as intense gunfire has been picked up by our sensors from the location. Head there ASAP and stop whatever the pirates are doing there. Time is of the essence, so better bring some fast transports. We've seen a mission like this before. We have to destroy the attackers while saving civilians. We gotta do it quick and clean. I don't have a lot of speed. I have the 1 transport, so this is kind of iffy. But it does get rid of the combat drug laboratory. It's an active enemy asset and increases the hit points of all pirate soldiers by 2. That could be rough, especially for long-range engagements. So, might actually be worth doing just to get out of the way, depending on what the other bonuses are. We have a secure perimeter mission. This is a 3-skill mission. When first touching ground, we need to secure the immediate area. Send out patrols and make sure the area is free of any pirate skirmishers that might perform surprise attacks, scout our movements, or prepare ambushes. This is the straight-up brawl mission. Go around, clear out 70% of enemies, grab the cargo, and then our classic, complete it, do it quick, do it clean, kill the boarding unit. We know what that is. We saw that with the first mate, I believe, the heavy armor jetpack guys. And this gives us an expanded LZ, which has a lot of potential if there are more, get in there quickly missions further down. And establish combat outposts. Yeah, we need to seize a combat outpost from the pirates and secure it. So we gotta get into the zone and secure it within 10 rounds. Destroying most of the enemies gives us more points, and doing it clean, do it quick, do it clean, do it without breaking stuff. And this gives us a rogue army depot. Upon completion, gain a rogue army item or vehicle. The ore vehicle is interesting, but the pirate vehicles seem incredibly suspect. Because our first mission determines what we can do for our second, we're going to quickly look at what the rewards are and the difficulties. We have 2 skull, 3 skull, 2 skull. The first one gives us a random pirate faction option. The second one gives us a random explosive item. And the third one gives us the vehicle healing, which we do not need. So we're not going to be doing established combat outposts because that leads to a mission we don't care about the rewards. Getting explosives is pretty interesting. Let's take out Bomb Maker. And that's doing a mission quick and destroying a bunch of stuff. And so the increased deployment zone could actually help a lot for that. But I am a little bit worried about the health. I'm not exactly sure how much overkill we're doing to these pirates. They think they have 10 health each normally. And so bumping that up to 12, if I go to like the damage of the crowbar, that actually makes a single shot from the crowbar not kill. So that's, I think we're going to have to stop the extortion. That's really going to be our problem. So we're going to have to just run forward trying to save civilians. The good news is we have no time limit. At least as far as I can see. We just have to kill everything, and so we want to get as many civilians out as we can, and try not to lose anybody. Let's get into it. We are 80 over. Ooh, I don't like that. That makes me sad. What are things we can get rid of? So one of the big things is the armor on Pike. Got all the usual stuff. Oh man, there's a lot of enemies, but I think some of these might be civvies. This is where the intelligence would be helpful. I regret. Right now, we do know that the pirates are fielding some armor, and having the ability to deal with that is important. There's something to be said for getting rid of the MMG, but I don't think the BC autocannon has enough shots, and yeah, you can see that once again I'm spending almost everything on Rewa. That hurts. But she's so effective, you know? Problem is, if I ditch this, I think we had it. I think we got it. I think it hurts too much to get rid of other things. We get rid of that. We're still at minus 15. Lose the flamethrower and just keep Darby at long range. Or we could get rid of some of these outcast rags. He's in the scavenger suit. Yeah, and that puts us at only missing 3. Okay, I think we can do that. And then we got cover on the left, we'll cover on the right. Whole cluster. So this is where intelligence would be good, because if I knew where the civvies were, I could rush them. I could get in there and I could try and help them. And so, ooh, we might have to put Rewa right here on the path, get Darby with her, and then get Lim and Pike ready to kind of run up the middle. And I think that should go pretty well.
Ready, Major.
Time to save some civvies. Alright. See any of them right off the bat? Nope. I haven't done one of these missions yet, so I'm not sure how aggressively the AI is going to start killing civilians, but we got to get this done. We have this weird thing, I was talking about this before, where we have a little bit of a timer in the sense that we don't want them to kill the civilians, but there's no actual timer. Once we get civvies out, we're good. The thing that tells us how many, so it looks like there are 10 civilians, and we need to save 6 of them to get what we want as a victory. Right off the bat, we're going to be driving around in the vehicle.
103rd heading to cover.
Get in there, Darby.
Orders?
Alright, so we're starting out real strong. That's gunshots already. Awesome. Yeah, I want to deploy the Falcon so that I can get some sight lines. See how this thing works. Oh! Whoa! Okay. They can shoot it down, but that's kind of impressive as far as like fences, being able to see things. But right now, I'm happy to have you catch up in the rear, and let's just get these guys in. Because you're already behind the fence, it's gonna take you a while to get in there.
Orders? What?
All right, Rewa, let's get in there. Oh, and it also technically blocks movement. That's kind of wild. Didn't expect that. Let's go.
Engines engaged.
We see a civvy there. I wonder if we have to move adjacent to them to get them to be under my control. Who knows? Why is this so much faster? I guess because there's only one turn. If I go to here, then I can probably go diagonally that way. Because I can go. No, right? You can't go diagonally. You have to zigzag. So even this is going to be better in the long run. I'm trying to get in there because it's going to be a very big rush at the start, followed by a long lag time. And then the more we can turn to face the direction we want this turn, the better will be next turn.
About time.
Alright, Lim, hot put. Oh, and the chain is very cheap to fire. It is only 20. Hey, more civvies. Okay. Starting to get a sense of what we're looking for.
Orders.
Alright, so really important. We didn't lose a civvy on turn 1. And that's just a very big thing from my knowledge. A lot of these types of games, it's very easy to have your civvies dropping like flies. Some of these games will kill multiple civilians on turn 1, like you just have to dash constantly. I see 2 civvies over here. I want to get Lim in there to try and help him. So we're moving. If we see something on the way, we can adjust. But I'm assuming, like in a lot of these games, the classic thing is you have to move adjacent with a soldier to get a civvy to be on side. They sometimes will do this, where they'll like run towards you or away from enemies.
Alert, enemy hardware.
Oh, we're being sneaky. That's why he's whispering. That is a chain gun tank. That is what Rewa needs to deal with. Do you have any possible hope of getting into range of this guy anytime soon? I don't know about that. Because again, going through these requires a lot of turning on her part, and so that might be having to be left to Lim a little bit. But Lim does not do well against a chain gun tank. Ooh. I could immediately just rip the minigun strafing. I'm really curious to see how this goes if I just like dump it on it immediately. I haven't been as aggressive with it, but I want to start getting moved up, and the roads move her so much faster. We've got more civvies. Yeah, and you can't go through these buildings, so you're kind of locked off from that guy. But I think if we can get you to, like, here, you might have a shot on him. And Darbs will be in the area. The other option is trying to get you somewhere where I move you here and I turn you... What does it cost to turn you 90 degrees? 20, yeah, so I couldn't get you here and then turned. But because having Darby able to get adjacent to these guys would be worth quite a bit. I just get you to here. Let's see if you can hit him from here. Got a bunch of civvies over back that way. Ah, he is just out of range. But I could drop a line of smokes to try and protect these civvies, but there's civvies everywhere, so what's that really gonna do? I want to see if you can pick them up with adjacency, perhaps being with soldiers. Oh, are they never gonna go on side? That would be really awful.
Got visual on targets.
Whoa! What was that? I didn't like that at all.
Sir.
Alright, you gotta start moving to help Lim, even if it's gonna take you a while to get
Listen
there.
up. We're moving.
I'm just gonna see if Lim can pick up the civvies. Oh, are you gonna be on side if you get near me?
Let's do this. Let's do this.
What's the Falcon Skybot? What do you see
Moving
if you
to
pop
cover.
out? A laser tank, a light truck armed with a high-powered laser repurposed from a downed spacecraft. Highly accurate, effective against even, heavily armored targets, but needs to constantly vent heat to keep firing. Awesome. Awesome. Love that. And you got, you're just not able to. Because this is just like one tile too short. I think I can just sneak you up, fire it, and then get you back. But I am really curious to see how the pocket rocket does. Because I don't think it'll one-shot it, but it will really, really hurt it. How much do you need to get to here? 21? Yeah, so I don't have enough to also deploy and undeploy. Let's see what happens. Oh! Yeah! Okay, pocket rocket. Very good. Big fire is like 20%, 10% max health or something, so that thing is fleeing and also going to die. And then, given that, I can't quite get back in the truck, but I can honestly maybe just stay here. She's got decent cover. Are you guys going to be on side if you're next to me? Because they seem to be slowly moving towards extract. Or at least away from the enemies.
We've got
Oh.
movement.
I think that's a chain gun team? Yeah. That's a real bad time for those civvies. Yes, the civvies seem moderately intelligent in this game. They are moving away from the
On
enemies.
four moving.
Alright, keep running, guys.
Orders.
So this thing is a little scary.
Orders?
Sir.
But I think I do have Rewa in range now. It's not great accuracy, and I do have the minigun coming down. But man, that thing can really hurt. She doesn't really have the ability to smoke things on this side.
Orders.
The chain gun's just, yeah, not gonna have the range we need. Yeah, because this is really just meant to suppress things as you approach, because it has the small cost. I thought this would be more full after all of the turns that happened. So I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know, we're all hidden except for Rewa, and I'm not that worried about her front armor getting shot at, and so I do kind of want to see if I can grab this civvy and get him to run. Can I get control if I stand next to you? No. Don't love that. Man, you have bad bad cover options back here. Could run back here. But this might just be a get here and deploy kind of moment. Kind of a wasted turn, unfortunately. I can actually just like fire a couple of rounds at him. I wonder if I just like start firing with the chain gun, what happens here?
Need more firepower.
Fire it again,
Deflected.
and then deploy. How are you doing? I can't really see. That did nothing. Cool, 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 cool. As we kind of expected, but painful to see it really happen. Oh, maybe? Oh, it's the civvies that were messing with it. Don't move. They're fine. He moved!
What?
It does put you in back armor, and we are so just taking these shots. These civilians are technically alive, which I'm kind of impressed by. So, alright, Roa, put your, what is it, the tank buster to work. See how this goes. Yeah! It's like half his health. I'm pretty happy with that.
What?
There he goes! Awesome. And then we know that there are friends over this way, and so I kind of want to see if I can just drop a line of smokes. But she can't move anyways, so give ourselves some cover, make sure that Darby isn't shot. Because again, unfortunately, we don't need to save that many. What a great strafing run out of your tactical
Orders.
leader. Really struggling with that. Pike, get moving. I'm a little bummed I can't move the civvies myself and like get them to an extract or something. But
Let's do this.
I will concede that they are being actually pretty smart, so I'm not too bent out of shape. I want to move up, see if I can see something
Moving to waypoint.
right outside the smoke, and then
Eyes on.
use the thing where I dip back inside. I'm out of range for the flamethrower, but I can do some serious damage to that chain gun team, and these are just outcasts, right? Yeah, they're just outcasts. And so moving back into the smoke only costs 14 per perk, and so I can just take a few shots at these guys, and try to put some hurt on them.
Contact.
Yeah, so there's a dead guy, specialist disabled because of Darby's special, and then she can get into the smoke and become really hard for them to hit. So it's just a little like free damage. I am appreciating the civvies are doing a pretty good job of running away from the enemies, which makes the lack of control less of an issue. Some games will have civvies just sit there and scream as they die, and oh boy, can that really be frustrating.
We got visual.
Alright, Lim, you got friends? They are. Ooh! Lots of friends. They're still in their truck, though, which is good, because they can't
Orders.
shoot right after their truck. Something blew up. That was the other truck burning to death.
Eyes open.
Sir.
What?
Alright, so the idea for Lim is he can, like... Oh, crud. Are we in range of either of our weapons? We can shoot the truck and try and take them out from inside the truck. But these civvies are kind of toast if we do that. I really want to see how much suppression he can put down with the chain gun. So I can get him to here,
Moving.
which has some cover. His running gun will proc on the first part, and I can put some suppression down here.
Get some.
They are unaffected, so we gotta fire a second time. We might get a jam on this. We did not!
They're suppressed.
A couple of bodies and a suppression, so it's not the greatest thing, but it is doing what it says on the tin. It is a moderately effective mobile machine gun, and that's good enough.
Orders?
Darby, do your cheeky peek. Hey, would you look at that? They're still there. If I move up to here, I can get a flamethrower
Oscar
on
Mike.
them. Or I can get a flamethrower on this group of outcasts that are gloriously in a bad place. We'll deploy, because that's Darby's thing, and annihilate you guys. Oh!
They're shooting us!
Yeah. Yeah, wow. The flamethrower does terrible things to light infantry. Yeah, and you can fire your primary weapon at us. Who cares? Okay, we took a little damage, so
Sir,
not a freebie, but not terrible. And then Pike, you'll never guess what you're doing. You're still running. Woo! Hopefully he can help out next turn, because this thing has a pretty solid range for when they push up. Run, cities. It's interesting that a lot of the buildings here you can move through, but you can't like end your turn on.
Okay, okay.
And then I think we just charge you into the smoke
Other good other.
and have you just charge out the next turn. And I can turn you this way so you have more for next turn. Yeah, so talking about before, we do need to like kill all the attackers, but as the cities get more and more behind us, our pressure to keep hello.
I've got Marcus to sniff!
Oh, I love that. But our pressure to keep charging forward is a lot lower because you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, please don't be able to shoot. We've got, 3, 4, 5 cities that are all like past us, and so we can kind of just hunker down. I'm pretty sure Lim just like has to go first because there's an absolutely terrifying unit just right next to him. Your accuracy is best a little on the move, and if we can get a nice flank shot on them. I'm pretty sure this is going to just eat you alive. And it brought Berserk. Incredible.
I like how you work.
Yeah, we can go up to here. We're still in good cover, and these guys who are already a little bit hurt and a little bit affected can get absolutely ripped to pieces. Oh man. And I see waverings over there as they panic.
Do what I can.
Let's go Lim with the Berserk double kills. That's why Berserk is so good. That type of situation. Oh. It's a squaddy now. Yeah, from the chain gun. She isn't
Orders.
suppressed though, so eat flamethrower.
Best to the best.
Thanks.
Keep it up, Marine.
Alright, that squaddy ORAB should be able to come back. Not too worried. And we got these guys over here. They're probably gonna move and take some long range pot shots, but the pirate pipe rifles only shoot 1 bullet per salvo, which just isn't that bad.
Sir,
Pike, we're gonna delay, see if we can see more of things that are happening. Yep, that's why.
movement.
More outcasts, more pipe rifle. So Rebel's going to have to head that way. But I think you'll be able to shoot at them next turn if I get you to here. But only kind of one of them because of the need to deploy. And so if we take you to here, maybe even here. Let's try here. This is a pretty good spot, and I can deploy you this turn. And then next turn, you can your heavy weapon and take 2 machine gun shots at these guys. Oh, nice. You guys got up? Yes, keep running. They're in a bit of a better spot, but I think this suppression will handle it. I don't see any more enemies over here, so Rewa is gonna do her fun thing, but I think we just have you come around the back.
I can kill from anywhere.
See if we can see any more enemies approaching, and she can come up behind
Let me
them.
have them.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. A pirate chain gun team. This is where her drive-by is really good, because this is going to let us do some serious damage. Yeah! Controls overloaded, half its health, we kill the passenger, beautiful. That's what we like to see, Rewa. Perfect. Yeah, and they've got a whole bunch of boys on this side. And they even got partially suppressed by Rewa's fire, it looks like. Or maybe... I don't think that's airstrike. Oh my god, there's a lot of them. Alright, you're pretty tucked in and you're in heavier armor. You're far away. You have the opportunity to put some serious hurt down. We don't have great sight lines. Since you're already deployed.
Orders.
I'm kind of tempted to have... Because I lost sight of these guys. I think they're somewhere in here. But if I can get Lim to here, take a shot, and then deploy, that could be pretty good. Yeah, 'cause I wasn't sure where they were. He's got better accuracy when he's undeployed. I think. Oh, you won't be able to hit them. That's kind of a tragedy. So I guess it's you guys who are getting shot at. Or I could try and risk it for the biscuit and get some suppression down, but I think we're in range of the arc. We just take some arc shots. Yeah, because suppressed and wavering, that's devastating, and then he can deploy to be hard to shoot at. Our injured civvy is going to keep running, which is very good. They're going to stand up, they're going to move, so they can only make one shot, if at all. Yeah, and they're probably just like, we don't want to get flanked by a heavy weapon. On that note, deploy this thing, and start putting suppression down.
Runs.
They're pinned. Yeah, so he can just fully pin down 2 enemies with this gun, which is so powerful. If I have other people coming around picking them off. Now these guys, like, yeah, they're moving. Once you stand up and move, you're not getting a shot off if you're suppressed. Yeah, so they're just repositioning slightly. And then Rewa can start moseying on to help out. And we just have a beautiful shot to finish off the chain gun team. Yeah. Boom!
Everything simply sucks.
We can keep going. Hopefully, I'm in range to get another 30 cost shot off. Yes, I am. Oh, and firing mounted weapons at civilians and infantry is devastating. Yeah, don't fire them at civilians, kids. That's a war crime. Civvies gonna keep running away. I'm actually really liking the intelligence of the civvies. They're trying to stay out of sight, out of mind. And I appreciate that. Sometimes, as I said, civvies can be real dumb. Get in there, Darby. Yeah, well, this looks like it's just gonna be a brutal cleanup. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm predicting a 5-star mission here. Unless I suddenly start blowing up structures or get someone killed randomly. But I don't see any flamethrower teams, so I think I'm okay. I want to take shots with Lim because he's the golden child. And these guys are still having a terrible time. You'd have to stand up. I think you're just taking deployed shots. Yeah. Yeah. Fleeing, wavering, fleeing, berserk.
Very good. Fuck them up.
I do what I can.
Keep firing. They're pinned down. They're suppressed. We'll throw some light. Good job. So all the enemies are having a bad time.
What?
Orders?
All of them are having a bad time. Lay down the law, Pike.
They really hate us.
Oh, you can give civvies boost. That's cute.
Only I was in my ship.
Yeah, if you were in your ship, I wouldn't be
Orders.
killing you right now. Darby's gonna just run up and flamethrower these guys. Yeah, this is just brutal.
Keep up the good work, Major.
Thank you, Hayflick. So that's the mission complete. I want to see if I can snag a few more kills. Again, I'm not sure if loot or XP is based on that, but they're here. They ain't going anywhere. Yeah, and this is the mobile shooting is giving her a couple extra tiles to go each turn. So they're having a terrible time. Civvies are fine. Let's see if we can finish these guys off for some bonus loot. I want to try and have Lim do it because he's got the highest growth potential, and so taking shots with him is just the most effective. Kill this guy. If I go here, you can get another shot off. And I appreciate that, like, yeah, they're not great shots through all this cover, but you can do a little bit of damage. That's all it's doing. Alright. I think that's a flawless mission. If what's his name? I'm trying to see the name. If ORAB is saved by our medbay, that's a flawless mission. We got 5 out of 5. They no longer have their combat drug laboratory, which is beautiful. Stops any funky business. I don't think we got anything that looks new or interesting from the pirates. This is all pirate junk, but that's just money. Yeah, ORAB got rescued, so perfect. What is Weary? Weary, trigger, participated in consecutive missions before current. This character has been on too many consecutive missions and will get exhausted when deployed on another mission before recovering. Now we gotta start recruiting new squad leaders because we're gonna start getting punished for having too many people, having our people do too many missions in a row. Lim's still bruised, he's still euphoric, because that was a really good mission for him. And then Rewa, tank busting. 2 tanks down. I like that. Goodbye, goodbye. Thanks for joining me in the bog. I'm Willow, and if you enjoyed having me as your guide, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Menace and many other journeys to come.